We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set, ready.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Chris Rumph, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And it's taken in at the 9. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Chargers at 8-1 on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Down inside the 10. Touchdown! Gerald Everett. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team? They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's caught. It's Austin left side. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
7-7, our score after one. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And some space here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. Touchdown, Chargers.
Mike Williams
from 19 yards away.
And the Chargers have taken the lead.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. There was Sebastian Joseph who got him down defensively.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Well, backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try and run the option left side. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Elliott diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Here's Freiermuth again.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They're going to look to throw.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Off the option, that's complete. And he is out of bounds here. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Third and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth.
As the 1st half is winding down.
And the Steelers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Chargers take over first and 10.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, first and 10 at their own 24. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Flushed out right. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Brings up second and 11 at the 50-yard line.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Paris Campbell, 50 yards. And the Chargers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. This is Harris on the draw. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this. And how about this, a fake? Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are, but what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you definitely got to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
Elliott running right. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
an opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the option, here's Eckler.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
There's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Again, it's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Herbert. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Hopkins' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
As that ball got away.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got him in. Complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, 77 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. When you're trailing in the fourth quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go to Elliott again. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Running with Elliott. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. So it's a win here for the LA Chargers, and it was thanks to the fine play of their quarterback, CD, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he was just on target all afternoon with 3 touchdown passes. They couldn't find a way to stop him, and ultimately, he guided them to victory.
So for the Chargers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.